2 out of 52. My name is Kenzie, and this past week I read one new book, watched a new movie, and I listened to a new album. And I'm trying to do that every week of the year, hopefully. Also, this is a new location, as I mentioned in my first video, because I went back to school, so I'm in my apartment now, and it's pink here. Get hype. But yeah, let's get into the media. Can't stop, won't stop. The movie I watched this week was Lady Bird. I've been waiting to watch this movie for a while. I don't know why I've been waiting, but I've been. I'm always like, ooh, I'm gonna watch this, and then I don't. But I did, so it's okay. Now. Lady Bird is a comedic coming-of-age movie, directed by Greta Gerwig, and it runs about 95 minutes, and it came out in November of 2017. Don't ask why I forgot to say years. It follows a teenage girl, Christine, also known as Lady Bird, played by Saoirse Ronan, and her turbulent relationship with her mother, Marion, played by Laurie Metcalf. Exhilarating. We follow her on her we do something. It happens from fall of 2002 to fall of 2003. It happens to be her senior year of high school, and we follow her through all of her troubles. She's going through a lot, coming of age. She has financial struggles, relationships, all of them, platonic, romantic, familial, her grades, behavioral issues, she's going through a lot, if you will. Oh, and Timothée Chalamet is there, but he wasn't all that kind, so yeah. Huge theme of this movie was the difference between love and driving force of most things that happen is Christine is ooh, my mom doesn't like me. She's you don't like me. She's oh my god, I love you. And it's that's not what she wants, because she's okay, you love me, but you don't like me. She's supposed to be liked by your mom. Devastating to me. I think it's really well done, because I think a lot of people would say themes like this tend to be sort of overdone, because people are always oh, I love you, but I don't like you right now, just in real life. But you see in this film everything that the characters do is motivated by this feeling and this confusion, but it never becomes predictable. It happens, you're yeah, that adds up, that makes sense, but it's never oh, obviously it was going this way. There's still room for surprise, and I think as a viewer that's beautiful. So I highly recommend it. All in all, I really love this movie. I would highly recommend it. I think it was great. The anticipation I built up from putting off watching it was well met. It was beautifully written, and it was wonderful, and I enjoyed it greatly. Yay. I would probably rate it a 9 out of 10. I think that is good for that movie. Next. The book I read this week was The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. Shout out, I read that. You could say. All of these pages. People have been telling me to read this for a while now. Everyone's oh my god, you haven't read that, you'd really like it. And you know what, they were right. But I finally read it now, and I'm glad that people were telling me to, because it was good. Yeah. The Things They Carried is a war story, a mix of autobiography and historical fiction, and it's really well done, and it's beautiful. And the book is, how many pages did I read? 233 pages long. And it is a pretty easy read. It's a collection of short stories, but they're all connected, they're all intertwined. It works really well reading them in succession, but I can see you being able to pull out one and read it and get what's going on. You don't need the context to fully take it all in, and that's nice, because you could just choose to read it one day, one story, and it's nice. But I liked seeing the connection and the through line. It was enjoyable to me. So this book has a lot of interesting themes, but the overarching ones include stuff in the world of guilt and shame, but then on a smaller scale it had a lot of the idea of immortalizing people in ink and on paper and stuff like that. I think that was beautiful. That moved me a lot. An element of this book that I appreciate a lot was repetition. I think Tim O'Brien does this like incredibly. A lot of authors, I think, try to achieve what he did with repetition, but like I would read a phrase and I'd be like, I think I've heard this before, and just like turn back and I'd be like, oh my god, that's brilliant, you did something great there. And he'll repeat something, just the slightest change of a word, and you're like, wow, everything has changed. And it really puts like you into like the scale and like weight of things, because like a lot's going on. This is happening during the Vietnam War. In short, he just kind of has like a way with words that I really enjoyed. It makes the book flow very well, considering there's a lot of like heavy topics, and I think that's nice. The book, like, it covers like during like the Vietnam War, but also it has like a lot of post-war stuff that I found really interesting. That was like some of the stuff that like stood out to me, and I liked that a lot. It was nice. Did I cry at this book? I teared up. So if you count that, yeah, but I would say no. So yes, I would definitely recommend this book. I think it was very moving and it's very well written, and that makes it all the more enjoyable. Shout out Tim O'Brien, shout out the things they carried. I would probably rate it like an 8.5, I think, out of 10, in case you forgot what we were doing here. But yeah, it was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. Next, the album I listened to this week was Slime Season 3 by Young Thug. This album was actually recommended me in the comments of last week's video, and has also been recommended to me for the past like couple months now, so I listened. Slime Season 3 is an 8-track album that lasts about 28 minutes, and it is from the blessed year of 2016. Yeah. This album falls into the genres of like hip hop and trap, and upon like research, like it was very well received. Oh my god. It was very well received when it came out, and I can see why. Like I found that I actually did really enjoy this album. I didn't know if I was going into it, but I was like pleasantly surprised. You know, it's very fun. The flow of it is very nice, you know. It's fun. I like it. I like the energy of it. My fave tracks off the album were With Them, Worth It, and Problem. I don't know. I like how they are. I don't have much like to say about that, but like those ones stood out the most to me upon like my earlier listens, you know, and upon re-listening, I think it remained pretty like consistent. I just like those the most. That's my truth, that's my opinion. Shout out. Low-key shocked, but I did really enjoy this album. I think it was fun. I like the energy, it's really consistent, it's up. And it's kind of just like fun to listen to, you know. It has like a lot of like interesting things going on, and that's nice. So like I would recommend it, like if you're just looking for something fun to listen to. Yeah, vibes. I would probably rate this album like a 7 out of 10. I had been toying with like the idea of putting it at like a 6.5, but that is only because I don't think this will make it into my typical rotation of music. But like even saying that, like the album's really well done, so I think it deserves better than the 6.5. And like I will still listen to it on occasion, I think. So like 7. I think it's a solid 7. Yeah. Okay, so that was my media for the second week of the year. I think it was a very good lineup. We went up, I think, from last week, which shocks me, to be honest. I didn't know we were gonna go up, but we did, so that's exciting. Probably going down next week, who knows. But it was a good lineup. My fave this past week was, I think it was Lady Bird. I think it was very much like this with Lady Bird and the things they carried, but I feel more drawn to Lady Bird as like who I am, so yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave recommendations in the comments down below, and I will get to them eventually, maybe even this week, who knows. not me. But I could get them very soon. So you should leave me recommendations. Anyways, big love, Godspeed. See you at the end of the week. This is funny. Okay. I have these Legos. This one's a ladybug, if you couldn't tell. So it has spots and it's red and it has black dots because that means it's a ladybug and that's its eyes. Next, this is a praying mantis. And it looks like this. I built him earlier, but I kind of messed him up for a little bit and I had to rethink about it. But he's really cute, I think, and they're friends. Like, if they were going on like a journey, they go like this. He'd be like, get on, we're going somewhere. So don't even ask what happened there.